Welcome all of you. We will discuss about multiple choice questions in polar effects as part 2 in this video. So in the earlier video we have had a discussion on polar effects part 1. Now we will go to the video. Question number 1. Which is the correct order of the Pauling electronegativity values of the listed atoms here? For this particular question, you can refer our previous video on Pauling's electronegativity. I have mentioned you one of the videos there. Option A, fluorine, oxygen, bromine, carbon, and option B, fluorine, oxygen, carbon, bromine. Option C, fluorine, bromine, oxygen, carbon. Option D, oxygen, fluorine, bromine, and carbon. So this is the reference one I have mentioned you because for easy to understand the Pauling electronegativity table. Here the fluorine is already well known that is an highest electronegativity can be given is a 4. Oxygen value is 3.5 and bromine value is 2.8 and carbon value is 2.5. So accordingly, based on this particular electronegativity table, among this option, the correct order of the electronegativity based on the Pauling scale can be given. Option A can be given. Number 2. Which one of the following does not act as a polar solvent? Find out the odd one in among the following. So option A is a methanol, option B hexane, option C water, option D ethanol. So already in our general videos that what we have noticed here, in the case of any kind of polar solvents, what is the general requirement is a ROH. So which is nothing but R may supposed to be a hydrogen, it nothing but a water here. R may be a methyl group, it is a methanol. So that the polar solvent must contain ROH. Polar protic solvents, ROH is a generalized formula. If suppose it is an dipolar aprotic solvents or non-polar solvents, generally they do not have your OH group in the compound. So based on this one, our option of odd man out here is nothing but our hexane. All others are is obeying with our ROH. Methanol here, ethanol here, CH3CH2OH, and water is HOH. So that all are following polar protic solvent here. They are mentioning about does not act as an polar solvent. So among this option B is the correct one, hexane. Next question. In which of the following molecule bond dipole moments cancel out, leaving the molecule becomes non-polar? See that I have mentioned you about the options and corresponding structure for our reference. I have mentioned here CBr4, carbon is the in mid position, and Br in the 4 different positions, and CH3Br here, and CH2Br2 here, and CHBr3 here. So among this option, one can easy to point out that the carbon and bromine, comparing the electronegativity, what we are able to give you here. So because these are more electronegative, so that it attract the electrons towards here. So based on this, in the 4 angles, all the different positions present in the bromine can attract that electrons towards itself, so that leaving this compound becomes a non-polar than others. So among this option A is the correct one. CBr4 is the non-polar in nature. Next question. Which of the following molecule is non-polar? Here option A is aluminum chloride, option B is a phosphorus trichloride, option C is chloromethane, option D is a ammonia. So this can be discussed based on the structure. So aluminum chloride, I have just mentioned, go to the next slide, because here the option is aluminum chloride is the correct one. Why it is correct? We will just see that in the case of our molecule aluminum chloride, which like our BF3 molecule, which having a trigonal shape, so that aluminum is a central portion and three chlorine group are present in the 120 degrees each other, so that all the chloride ions are present there, they can able to take up the electrons from there, so leaving that molecule as like in the previous example what we have pointed out. Simply this is also non-polar in nature. Similarly, in the case of our phosphorus trichloride, which is also as similar, but the geometry of this phosphorus trichloride is nothing but trigonal pyramidal. So trigonal pyramidal, which leads the compound to be a polar, and similar to our other compounds like our chloromethane and ammonia, all are polar in nature, except that aluminum chloride, based on the trigonal shape, the compound becomes a non-polar. Hence our option of interest is aluminum chloride, option A. Next question. Which of the following molecule is non-polar among this option? See, as usual, this also like our geometry based questions. So in any kind of the competitive examination, like these simple questions gives you more complication or more confuse on that. So try to get your easy ideas that what we are focusing on the geometry as well as the electronegativity, like that. Based on some of the explanations, one can able to answer these questions very easily. Option A H2S, option B SO2, option 3 SO3, and option D SCl2. So as usual, what we have mentioned you in the previous examples, like here also you have a structural geometry. Based on that, the compound can be non-polar. Among this option, option C is the correct one. We will discuss here why it is C. So because in the H2S is polar due to the electronegativity. See that if suppose this is like our sulfur is here and two hydrogens are there, the hydrogens electrons are abstracted by the sulfur. Based on the electronegativity difference on these things, this becomes a compound become polar. As usual, like our SO2 may also be like our H2O, like bent structure. Water moiety is like a bent structure. This also leads to a polar. Whereas in the case of our SO3, like our AlCl3, this also becomes a trigonal planar. Trigonal structures, almost it comes almost trigonal. If the compound is having a 120 degrees, like this comes almost. This also compensated by our SOOO, so that will give you non-polar in nature. And as usual, like our SO2, the SCl2 is also like a bent structure, so the compound becomes polar. So among this option, as we already mentioned, that option C is the non-polar among this case, so that option C is the correct one. Which of the following bond possesses the largest dipole moment? So as usual, we need to refer the Pauling's electronegativity table, so that this table may not be provided during our examination. For our reference only, I have just pointed out here. And option A is CH, option B OH, option C SH, and option D NH. So this entire dipole moment or electronegativity, you should recall about our Pauling's table. So this table must be by hearted by each and everyone, so that like some of these simple questions is able to answer here. So find out that our electronegativity of the carbon is 2.5, oxygen electronegativity is 3.5, sulfur electronegativity is again 2.5, nitrogen electronegativity is 3. So among these, which one is highest means OH is the highest one, because oxygen is more electronegative, so that the bond dipole attraction towards this is more. So among this, option B is the correct one. So in this particular case, due to the Pauling's electronegativity table, and electronegativity of the oxygen is more pronounced than this one, so that option B is correct one. Find out the following substituent is not electron withdrawing. Find out the following substituent is not electron withdrawing. So we have discussed during our inductive effect, polar effects part 1 video. I have mentioned you about the electron donating groups and electron withdrawing groups. Very simple to notice that among this option, why I have mentioned you that recall our inductive effect, negative inductive effect and positive inductive effect. These inductive effects will give you very clear answer for here. So as we already pointed out that either the one cyanide or bromine or hydroxyl group presence there, that may leads to our electron withdrawing and other nature, everything is pointed out there. Whereas in the case of our inductive effect, which leads to the methyl group is ready to donate that one. So that which is having the electrons presence there, which is ready to donate to the our compound. So that leads to the positive inductive effect. So which leads to the entire compound. Among this option, like odd man out, which one is option D is the odd man out. So that our option is, in the case of our, is not a electron withdrawing, is nothing but our methyl group. So that option D is the correct one. Now, which of the following solvents is non-polar in nature? So for the sake of convenience, I have given you the structure of the solvents also here. So based on this solvent structure, we can able to point out whether it is an non-polar in nature or not. So among this one, this is cyclic structure, and dichloromethane here, and acetonitrile here, and acetone here. Among this option, able to point out that option A is the correct one. Cyclohexane is a non-polar in nature. So this video, this particular question is follows from our inductive effect applications of inductive effect videos. I already mentioned that. Which of the following is an application of an inductive effect? Which of the following is an application of an inductive effect? Inductive effects leads with our bond length, dipole moment, strength of carboxylic acid. So because inductive effects applications involves in all those angles, so our option of correct option in this particular question is option D. So because the inductive effect leads with the not only with our bond length, dipole moment and strength of carboxylic acid, it is giving all. So that among this one, option D is the correct one. Next one. So this question also follows our polar effects video. So kindly watch that video. So based on some of these videos, give you more informations on like these questions to easily answerable one. So the question is, due to the presence of CX polar bond in alkyl halides are option A, more reactive than the corresponding alkane, and option B, equally reactive as corresponding alkane, option C, less reactive than the corresponding alkane, option D, none of the above. So as we already pointed out and noticed that in the polar effects will lead to the X and difference in the electronegativity. So based on this electronegativity, corresponding our alkanes, the particular this polar bond gives you more reactive than the corresponding the alkane. So our option of interest here is A. A is the correct one than the other one. Next, calculate the bond polarities of KF bond. So once again, this question is also follows our Pauling's electronegativity table. So this informations I am repeatedly focusing for easy to notice about the any kind of the competitive examination questions. This table will help us for identifying the nature. So find out the bond polarities of Kf here, whether it may be a polar or non-polar or ionic or non-covalent bond. So as already I have discussed in the previous videos, like in polar and non-polar ionic discussions, we need to monitor what about the electronegativity of our potassium as well as electronegativity of our fluorine. So as we already know, the fluorine value is more than our potassium value. So based on that, we can able to find out. This is the option here, our ionic nature 0.8 and 4. This is 3.2. So based on the difference in electronegativity, we have pointed out that it is an ionic in nature. So this is the one I have pointed out already there. Why it is ionic means is greater than 2. The value of electronegativity difference among the K and F will give you greater than 2, leads to the bond becomes a ionic in nature. Based on that, our Kf bond polarity is an ionic only. Next one. Similarly, calculate the bond polarities of LiI, lithium iodide bond, whether it is an polar or non-polar or ionic or non-covalent bond. So as we already noticed that lithium is 1 and iodide the value is 2.5. Find out the difference among these two. It's a 1.5 will come over here. Here as usual you should notice this one. If it is 0.5 to 2, the difference is given to a polar covalent bond. So our difference come over here, lithium is 1 and iodine is 2.5, the difference is 1.5, so that comes in between these two. So it is a polar in nature. So this is a so based on that, any number of questions may also be expected to give you the idea on that. Next question. Calculate the bond polarities of CO2 molecule, whether it is polar or non-polar, ionic or non-covalent. So as usual we need to focus on that because the geometry is more important, and also we know that the electronegativity difference also. So here the hint I have mentioned you here, carbon is a non-metal which is having more than one covalent bond here. Symmetrical pulling of electrons from carbon by two oxygen atoms equally. I have given you the structure in the next slide to give you the answer there for this particular question. See that. This is the carbon here. Carbon electronegativity is 2.5, oxygen electronegativity is 3.5, and here also 3.5. So based on the geometry nature, what happens now, the carbon's electronegativity is shared among these two, pulling of this one equally. So leading to the compound becomes a non-polar in nature. So option is CO2 molecule. Supposing that they may ask you in the examinations like why it is non-polar in nature. CO2 molecule bond polarity, like this question may also ask, or otherwise CO2 molecule is non-polar, why? So because of the pulling nature of the electrons of the carbon dioxide, carbon's electron are pulled by the different oxygen equally. So that if suppose it is a polar molecule, means it goes to any one end. Because of the both of them are pulling equally, equal strength people are involving in this particular case. So they are pulling equally, so that this is compensated. So carbon becomes, this pulling nature is equal. So based on that becomes a non-polar in nature. So based on some of these questions, I have pointed out that in polar, non-polar or ionic or electronegativity inductive effects on that. Like this, some of the discussions, MCQ discussions, I feel that it is useful for you. We will continue watching that video and more number of MCQs in forthcoming videos. Thanks for watching this video. Like it, subscribe it and share it for more number of videos in this platform. Have a nice day. Thank you.